Welcome to Simple Healthy Tips, your guide to better gut health, stronger immunity, and more energy through simple daily habits.
Welcome to this explainer. So, have you ever found yourself wondering why that stubborn visceral fat just completely refuses to budge, no matter what you do? Today, we're diving into a fascinating physiological paradox. We're going to look at why that stubborn belly fat might actually be a blaring alarm bell, a signal that your nervous system is literally trapped in survival mode. And more importantly, we're going to break down exactly how you can fix it naturally. Okay, let's talk about this incredibly frustrating mystery. You probably know the exact feeling we're talking about here. You're eating clean, you're getting all your daily steps in, maybe you're even dragging yourself through 100 crunches every single morning. But nothing. That stubborn pocket of belly fat simply will not leave. Honestly, it can feel like your body is actively working against you, deliberately holding onto that weight no matter how hard you push yourself. But here is the totally counterintuitive truth we're exploring today. The harder you punish your body with super strict diets and intense exercise, the tighter it actually holds onto that weight. Why? Well, because it feels biologically threatened. When your nervous system senses constant stress, it shifts its priorities completely away from looking fit and focuses 100% of its energy on just keeping you alive. Dr. Fiona Burnell and the experts over at the New You Medical Clinic really hit the nail on the head here. They point out that chronic stress fundamentally changes how your body functions. When you're constantly stressed out, your body perceives a lethal threat. It completely prioritizes survival over fat loss. And this just shatters that old calories in, calories out myth, especially when you're dealing with an overwhelmed nervous system. So, what's actually driving all this? Well, it all comes down to cortisol. This is your body's primary stress hormone. Now, historically, a huge spike in cortisol was an amazing life-saving mechanism. It protected us from starving during a long famine, or it gave us that burst of energy to run away from a literal lion. But today, our modern lions are relentless work deadlines, financial pressures, an overflowing email inbox, and just terrible sleep. The tricky part is, your nervous system actually can't tell the difference, so it spikes your cortisol constantly, telling your body to hoard energy right there in your midsection. Now, this is where it gets kind of crazy. Research from a recent Frontiers in Pharmacology paper reveals this fascinating and honestly slightly alarming biological mechanism. High cortisol and chronic stress physically drive the whitening of your healthy, energy-burning brown fat. It literally degrades those healthy thermogenic cells into stubborn, energy-storing white fat that wraps around your organs as visceral fat. It's a literal defense mechanism, and it's happening right on a cellular level. Section 1. Fueling for safety through diet and gut health. Let's move over to the solutions and see how we can actually use our daily nutrition to signal safety to our confused nervous systems. First things first, we gotta ditch the extreme diets. Seriously. Instead of starving yourself, which, remember, your body interprets as a literal famine, we need to focus on genuine nourishment. Severe calorie restriction is a massive stressor. It places a huge amount of additional strain on your body, driving those cortisol levels even higher and locking that visceral fat firmly in place. We absolutely must prioritize stable blood sugar to drop that stress response. So, what should we actually be putting on our plates? Well, resources like Medical News Today and Healthline point out that supporting our gut microbiome actively lowers stress reactivity in the adrenal glands. It's amazing. Probiotic foods like yogurt and kimchi, combined with fiber-rich legumes, create a biological environment that's highly favorable for fat loss. Add in omega-3s from fish oil and, hey, even dark chocolate, because it contains flavonoids that buffer adrenal stress, and you are chemically telling your body, hey, it's okay, we're safe. Oh, and don't forget to drink plenty of water. Even mild dehydration is enough to temporarily spike your cortisol. Section 2, the caffeine connection. Now let's talk about a very specific daily habit that might be secretly sabotaging all your hard work and keeping your cortisol elevated all night long. 6. That is the magic number. It's the absolute minimum number of hours before bed that you must stop consuming caffeine.
Look, I know it's incredibly tempting to grab that 4 p.m. latte for a quick boost, but caffeine forces your adrenal glands to stay highly active. If you truly want to protect your sleep rhythm and allow your nervous system to genuinely wind down, this 6-hour cutoff is just non-negotiable.
Section 3. Routines for rest, focusing on Japanese lifestyle habits. To truly lower cortisol, well beyond just what we put in our mouths, we can look to Japan. Their cultural approach to weight management is absolutely fascinating because it focuses not on fighting the body, but on intentionally calming it down.
You might think you need to crush it at the gym every single day to see results, right? Actually, scratch that. Punishing yourself with intense, aggressive gym sessions might just be raising your cortisol and keeping that belly fat totally locked in. Instead, try a slow, gentle morning walk in natural sunlight. This simple act produces serotonin, which directly counteracts cortisol, and it effectively resets your circadian rhythm, so your hormones peak and drop exactly when they're supposed to. These Japanese practices are just incredibly effective at activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Think of this as your body's built-in rest and digest switch. Whether it's taking that gentle morning walk, practicing Shinrin-yoku, which is immersing yourself in the deeply calming environment of a forest, or engaging in gentle daily rituals, these habits drop cortisol levels significantly better than extreme high-stress interventions.
I absolutely love this quote from Grandfather Dyke about the evening bath ritual. Soaking in 40 degrees Celsius water for 10 to 20 minutes right before bed isn't just about hygiene. It's a profound, culturally ingrained ritual. Warm water immersion relaxes your muscles and literally signals to your brain that the day's threats are finally over. You are safe. You can finally let go of all that tension.
Another amazing cornerstone of this relaxation is Tanden breathing. It's the simple, targeted deep breathing technique that takes literally just 5 minutes. You just focus your awareness roughly 3 centimeters below your belly button and breathe deep into your diaphragm. Doing this physically stimulates the vagus nerve, which acts like a biological off switch, immediately shutting down your stress response.
Finally, we literally cannot ignore the bedrock of all these practices: sleep. Looking at the data, sleeping only 4 hours a night drastically spikes your cortisol and significantly increases your insulin resistance. When you deprive yourself of sleep, your body goes into absolute high alert, aggressively hoarding visceral fat because it is convinced a major crisis is happening.
Because here's the reality. You can eat the perfect gut-healthy diet. You can establish that firm caffeine cutoff. And you can practice deep breathing in the most beautiful forest in the world. But without 7 to 8 hours of consistent sleep, your body will still perceive a threat. Sleep is the whole shebang. It's the foundation. If you want your body to release that survival weight, you absolutely have to prioritize your rest.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to ask yourself, are you constantly fighting your body? Or are you making it feel safe enough to finally let go? Stop punishing yourself with those extreme diets and exhausting workouts that only create more stress. Think about how you might start signaling real safety to your own nervous system tonight, because I promise you, once your body finally feels safe, it will naturally let go of what it no longer needs to hold on to.